As you know, the Tom Leykis Show has given advice to parents. And the advice is the following. If your daughter is fat or fugly, if she looks like she's going to grow up to be less than beautiful, do advise your daughter to get a college education and plan on having a career. Because no man is ever going to pay her bills. Well, I understand that's harsh, but that's the way of the world. You can usually look at a girl and tell by age, let's say 10, you can pretty much tell what that's going to play out to be. You can take a look and you can tell. And maybe it's hard to be objective about your own children. Maybe you can't see them as objectively as the rest of us, but believe me, you can look at them as early as 10 years old and you can tell where they're going. You can tell if they're going to, become Zeppelins. You can tell if they're going to be hot. You can tell if they're going to be tall or short. You can pretty much tell. So, 10 years old would be 5th grade. And that's a good time to start talking to your daughter about college, about the reality of the world. The reality of the world being, if a woman is not beautiful, no man will pay her bills. The less attractive she is and the more she weighs, the less any man she could possibly attract is going to make. The worse job he's going to have. Cold, hard realities. Many of you look at your little chubby princess there and you say, maybe it's just baby fat. Maybe eventually she'll grow up to be beautiful. Or maybe you can't see that she's heading for 180, 200 pounds. You just can't see it because you're a parent. You've got to take a good, cold, hard look at her. And you've got to figure out whether or not she's going to be able to depend upon the kindness of strangers, as beautiful women do all the time. That's the way it is. So now I'm going to do something that, maybe you don't want the kids listening right now, but I'm going to do something that is going to seem cruel and insensitive. And nobody does cruel and insensitive like the Tom Leykis Show. But I'm talking to you parents out there. Now, again, I'd chase the kids from the room if they're around. Many of you are in your cars right now, listening to me in the car. Hopefully the kids are not in the car. If the kids are in the car, depending on what you would say to this, you might want to tune away. But if the kids are not in the car, I need you to answer the following question, okay? I want you to call me and tell me if you think that your kids are going to grow up, especially your daughters. Let's just keep it to daughters, because guys can always make up the difference with money. That's what guys do. In this society, men are defined not by how they look, but they're defined by what they do for a living, what they are. Women are defined by how they look. And if they don't look good, then they're defined by how much money they make. And I need you to take a cold, hard look at what your daughter looks like at this point in time. I don't care what her age is. And tell me, do you think that she's going to have to get that extra education? Is she going to have to work hard? Is she going to have to work her way up in the company? I know it's hard to say this, but I also know that many of you who've had children, maybe they didn't turn out the way you dreamed. You dreamed of having beautiful children, and they were beautiful to you. But if you look at them objectively, they're just not as hot, just not as attractive, just not as thin as you would have wanted them to be. In fact, sometimes you're afraid they're going to turn into that kind of trailer trash that lives at home forever, and you're going to be paying their bills. Because no man will pay a woman's bills if she looks, fat, she looks ugly. And I don't know how many of you will have the guts to do this. I see the phones lighting up right now. But I'm curious as to how many of you have daughters who, frankly, are going to have to do a little extra work in school. And maybe you can call up and describe them to me and tell me why you think they're going to need the additional higher education. Why you think they're going to have to be successful career women when they grow up? That's what I want you to do. If you have a daughter and she's just not turning out to be a looker, I'd like you to call me and tell me about it toll-free at 1-800-5800-TOM. It's 1-800-5800-866. The Tom Leykis Show, brought to you in part by the College Loan Corporation. College Loan Corporation can cut your monthly student loan payments by 50%. And your daughter's going to need a student loan if she's going to be going to college, especially if she's not beautiful. So call this number. It's 800-2-COLLEGE.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
You're so rageful.
I have never heard this word, by the way, rageful. But, all right, I'll assume your IQ is in the triple digits for the sake of argument.
You've never spoken to a psychotherapist.
You're a psychotherapist, or are you just a psycho?
The Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show from New York City at 1-800-5800-TOM. You can hear our show worldwide on fmtalki.com. If you've got friends in some of the cities where our show is not heard, in fact, right down the block here in New York City, you can go to fmtalki.com and hear the entire Tom Leykis Show as God intended it. We're on from 3 to 8 Pacific time. And where I'm standing right now, the show is on from 6 to 11 Eastern Time. Call your friends and tell them they can also hear the Tom Leykis Show. And by the way, we did crash the server, I found out the other day when we first announced this. You were having a hard time hearing the show online. And we crashed out the server. Too many guys calling in from Iraq in the service, I think. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Sonia on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi. I am just calling, well, actually my husband called in because I was arguing with him and was kind of surprised by the topic and your viewpoint right now on saying that unattractive, or if you think your child is going to be unattractive, promoting them to go to college.
Absolutely.
So
you think that's a bad idea?
I don't think it's a bad idea, but what I think is a bad idea is to promote college based on attractiveness. Shouldn't we be promoting college for regardless of whether the child's attractive or not?
I don't think college is for everybody, and I think really profoundly attractive women don't need college. I don't know if Selma Hayek went to college, but I can tell you she didn't need to.
Yeah, well, she's a celebrity and she's in show business.
No, but the fact is, whether she was a celebrity or not, some man would have paid the bills for the rest of her life. She didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, but Tom, honestly, what percentage of intelligent women do you think want to rely on a man or have to pay their allowance?
The fact is, generally speaking, the more intelligent a woman is, the less attractive she is.
The what? The more intelligent a woman? I don't.
Generally speaking, because less attractive women spend more time boning up.
Can I say something?
Instead of boning down. What?
Can I say something? I actually am in higher education myself, and all of my friends are very attractive, and all of them are in professional.
Again, there are exceptions to every rule, and we tend to know people who are like ourselves. But generally speaking,
exceptions to every rule. That's every friend that I have is just about 16 individuals.
There's 125. I'm sorry, there's 175 million women in America. Okay. So the fact that you've got 12 attractive, intelligent friends doesn't change the fact that the vast majority of really highly intelligent people are not that attractive.
Question, what kind of girls do you hang out with? You always flaunt the fact that you have tons of money, you're a millionaire.
I do.
I'm curious.
I'm a multi-millionaire.
No, you're professional.
No, let's get it straight. I'm a self-made multi-millionaire, yes.
Okay, self-made multi-millionaire. Go to town. So the girls you hang out with are very superficial, materialistic, have fake boobs, done all kinds of stuff.
No. When did I say anything about fake boobs? I'm not a fan of fake boobs.
Okay, well, whatever, the attractive, less...
This is your view of what... this is your view of a bimbo.
So you associate yourself with beautiful women that likely are only going to like you for your money and are not that college educated.
Well, I only like them because they're beautiful.
What did you say?
I only like them because they're beautiful, so it's quid pro quo.
So that's fine. You haven't met beautiful women that are highly educated and professional?
Very few.
You don't want someone to pay their way?
Very few.
I don't see that. To me, it's your perspective and your class of people that
Most highly educated women are highly educated because they know they'll never be able to attain a man who will pay their bills.
My point is, why would women want a man to pay their bills? Everybody I know...
Well, that's a question I've been asking for years, because I look around and so many men are paying all the bills of the women they're with. That's a very good question. And while we're at it, why don't we talk about why women get alimony?
Why women get alimony?
Yeah. If women don't need men for money, why do we have alimony?
When the role is reversed and the woman makes a lot of money...
How often does that happen? The vast majority of women are with men who make more money than they do. And not only that, women are constantly complaining that they earn 72 cents for every dollar a man makes, blah, blah, blah. Very few men are living with women who make more money than they do, and most of those men are losers.
Yeah, that's fine. I agree.
You agree with that generalization?
Well... Yeah, but see, Tom, I think...
So that generalization is okay.
You associate yourself, and you're in a certain group of people that hang out with these people.
Here, let me give you an example. I do not like discussing politics with women. Because, first of all, most women that I know who are attractive don't read the paper.
Okay, so my point goes...
So what would be the point of attempting to have a serious conversation about something like that with a woman? It's a waste of time. Any woman who knows anything about politics is probably not that attractive and has plenty of time to read the paper.
It's the women you're hanging out with.
No, it's the women that are generally out there, dear.
You would hang out with...
I'm hanging out with beautiful women. That's who I hang out with. I have always hung out with beautiful women.
Okay, you can come hang out with me and my gorgeous friends, and I guarantee you we can educate you on a few things.
By the way, how gorgeous can they possibly be, dear?
You know what? I will send you a picture online of me and all of my friends, and all of them are professional, and all of them are attractive. Never have relied on a man.
Now, I had a man call in. You're calling from where? Shoreline? Hello?
I'm in Seattle.
Okay. Yeah, okay, because Dean told me you were in Shoreline.
Well, I'm heading towards Shoreline, but I'm actually from California, getting my doctorate right now at UW, and I'm...
And what are you, a 10?
What am I, a what?
Are you a 10?
On a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, definitely, I think so. You asked my husband.
Definitely, so you have no flaws. You're absolutely perfect.
I wouldn't say I'm absolutely perfect, but I think...
Well, then you're not a 10. Now, by the way, I'm going to tell you something a man said a few weeks ago on this show. A man who lives in the Seattle area said the following. I want to run this by you, okay? A man said that there's a general rule of thumb. Add 5 pounds for every 2 miles north of Seattle.
Well, you know what? I have to say, being a California native and coming up here, the women tend to be a little bit heavier than they are in California.
A little bit? A little bit?
Yeah. I mean, overall, the winters...
Just a little bit.
People tend to put on a little bit more weight. But
I'm
originally from San Diego, so that doesn't really pertain to me.
So you don't see a lot of women walking around looking like they're wearing a scone from Starbucks or... women who are wearing layers of Frappuccino under their Eddie Bauer down vest. You don't see a lot of that around?
No. Yeah, no.
You don't, huh?
What'd you say?
You know, I come to Seattle all the time. You're telling me you don't see that?
No, I'm definitely... Didn't you hear the first part of my sentence? I said, compared to California, where I'm from, women...
You tend to be a little heavier, but I think you're being generous, dear. I think we're losing her. She was very upset when she called in. 1-800-5800-TOM. JP on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, JP.
Well, it's my daughter. She's fat, and she didn't look that way when she was younger. She's about 8 now.
She's 8, and she's fat already.
She's already fat. She's coming out ugly. She's even got, her teeth aren't doing that good either. It's not good.
Bad teeth and everything.
Yeah, she...
Loading up on the candy, is she?
Say again?
Loading up on the candy, is she?
Candy, she has weird eating habits. I don't know what's going on with her. I broke up with her mom, and her mom's taking care of her most of the time. I try to be a good influence on her myself. I'm a personal trainer. I exercise, but every time I go over there, she's just getting worse and worse.
Now, is Mom a chunkster, too, or what's the deal there?
Chunkster, Tom. That's why I had to get out of there, man. She gained 100 pounds. She's so fat. She looks horrible.
Really? Have you explained the facts of life to your daughter? I'm not talking about sex. I'm talking about if she continues to chunk up,
I got
to have to work a lot harder.
Sometime I got to have her call in the show. Let you explain it. I don't even know how to begin to break that to her.
Yeah, it'd be easier to talk to her about sex.
Well, hell, man, these kids know more about sex than we ever did at that age nowadays.
Now they need to know the real facts of life. Or in your daughter's case, the fats of life.
Yeah, exactly. She, she didn't have to go this way too. She looked so beautiful when she was like 3, 4, but as time progressed, she just started degrading. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, these girls get older, and then the truth comes out.
Yeah. Well, hey, Tom. My girlfriend, she hates you. She wants to yell at you. Is that okay?
Oh yeah, put her on. I'd love to talk to her.
Yeah. Go this way. So beautiful when she was like 3, 4, but as time progressed, she just started degrading. It was unbelievable. These girls get older.
She wasn't ready to go on the air.
Hello?
Yes.
I really don't like your show, and I feel like you just kind of destroyed the radio.
I'm sorry? She hung up. Oh, boy, oh, boy. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Let's say hello to Michelle on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. My name's Michelle.
I just said that.
Sorry about that. I couldn't hear you very well. I'm on a cell phone. I'm actually from New York. I'd never heard of you before, but I'm actually in California, and I just tuned in.
So do you live in California or New York?
I actually live in New York, but I'm out here for business. I'm just wondering, where are you getting your facts from, or is this all generalizations? Are you just
talking about facts or facts?
I said facts.
Well, there have been several studies done recently that we have read on the air, but you, of course, were in New York eating a hot dog at the time or something. You didn't hear it. There have been several studies recently that say specifically that women who weigh more have family incomes that are lower.
Okay,
that is a statistical fact, and I'm not sitting here with my entire directory of statistics that I've read on the air, but I read all of the methodology of that survey on the air and where it came from and what have you. And it was duplicated in another survey that we also read on the air.
Okay, well, what about the fact that as far as graduate and college, degrees, women outrank men? What about bad-looking men having to go and rely on college education because they can't foot the bill?
Well, the fact is, whether a man looks good or not, a man has to foot the bill. Bottom line is, whether a guy looks like Pierce Brosnan or Louis Anderson, it doesn't matter. Men have to work until they're dead.
I think that's pretty much a generalization.
Really? Well, how many men are sitting around in the tanning booth all day long while their high-powered attorney wives are going into the law firm every day?
You're not basing anything off of facts. You're basically making generalizations.
Please, dear, I have a lifetime of experience.
Hey,
I'm asking you, are you telling me, what does your husband do for a living? Is he sitting home while you work? Is that it?
No, he's actually on vacation right now.
But he does work, right?
He's between jobs right now.
He's between... Oh, so your husband's unemployed.
No, he's...
So you're sensitive about this because your husband at the moment is a loser and he has to depend on your income.
My husband makes 3 times as much as I do, but that doesn't...
When he's working, which he's not.
He just stopped...
Now, 3 times... by the way, 0 is 3 times 0. You know what I'm talking about?
He just started a new job. My question is this.
You just said he was between jobs.
Forget this.
Did he just start a new job, or is he between jobs, or are you just perennially confused?
You're the guy on the soapbox.
Huh?
Facts. You're on the guy on the soapbox without facts, trying to get people...
Dear, what is it? I mean, what do you mean without facts? I just told you we had 2 studies on this program that said that women who weigh more have lower family incomes than women who weigh less. It's documented.
Talk about stuff that matters. Who the heck cares about if your kids are fat? And what kind of loser is going to go on to that?
Well, dear, I will tell you how I know the stuff I talk about matters. I know you just fell off the turnip truck in Los Angeles. We have the #1 afternoon show in Los Angeles. So somebody cares about it, even if it isn't you.
The traffic. The only reason could be the traffic because...
Well, dear, there's 82 stations on. They're all playing on radios in traffic. Guess what? People choose this show before they choose other shows. Well, and that's because East Coast bitches like yourself call in and I make mincemeat of you.
Oh, and you have to go there. What kind of...
I've been there and back. I'm here in New York right now. I'm very sensitized to women like you.
You're just pathetic.
I know your type.
Pathetic. Get something on the air.
I'm not pathetic, dear. I make 10 times what you make at the very least, believe me. If I'm so pathetic, why am I down here at the radio station and you're calling in and making my day easy by calling up and providing grist for the mill?
When it comes down at the end of the day, you know what? You like what you do? What about you? Forget about me.
I love what I do.
You like
cutting down big mouth bitches like yourself to size. I love it. Big mouth East Coast broads just like to yap all the time. Love it.
Do you have any daughters?
It's very, very rewarding.
Do you have any daughters? I'm curious because I don't know anything.
No, I've had other people's daughters, but I haven't had any of my own.
How old are you now?
Why does it matter, dear? Everyone knows how old I am. I'm just asking. Why does it matter?
I've never heard of you before. I just heard this on the radio.
Well, that's because you just came to Los Angeles. I happen to be one of the most well-known radio personalities in Los Angeles. I'm sorry if your whole world is Scott Shannon, dear, but the fact is that I've been on the radio in Los Angeles for 18 years.
Okay. And so
just because you are ignorant of what goes on the West Coast doesn't mean the rest of the people are.
Listen, have some kids, okay, and then think
No,
about
thanks.
what you're doing,
No, I don't feel like having kids. You know why? Because I wouldn't want to have to pay child support to a bitch like you.
Oh, my God. You're just so sad. I hope you find...
Nothing sad about it. I'm a self-made multi-millionaire. I do whatever I want. I have a 4-story house in the Hollywood Hills. I drive an expensive car.
I hope at the end of
I don't have to listen to a bitch like you. Life is great.
I hope at the end of the day...
I grew up in New York having to look at chicks like you with the big hair and the can of Aquanet in your purse and walking around chewing gum with the acrylic nails. You know what? Dear, I've seen it all. Spent enough time at the Smith Haven Mall. I know your type. I do.
You don't know my type at all, sweetheart.
I can tell your type, dear.
I'm from Junction. I'm from Dutchess County.
Ooh.
So don't even...
By the way, for those of you who've never been to New York, she's trying to pull like, oh, I'm from Dutchess County, which is like saying she's from a more upscale area than Suffolk County.
No, I'm saying
That's
from
what she's trying to...
I'm not from...
So what? It's all the same. It's all that same East Coast yapping. You all sound like Fran Drescher. The less attractive Fran Dreschers at that.
Oh, you haven't heard anything I've said? You haven't heard anything any other...
Dear, I've heard it, but believe me, you have such a big mouth. I have heard every word over and over.
All right, have a good life. And
don't worry, I will.
Hopefully this isn't...
Hopefully you'll be leaving Los Angeles never to return, because you can't get a good slice of pizza, right?
Well, that's true.
See, I know. We all say the same thing.
Hey, if you're saying, if you're right, I'll tell you you're right. On that, you're right.
Is he?
Well, thanks for taking the call, but hopefully this isn't what your real motto. This is just for the hype for the ratings.
No, this is not. Wait, hang on a second before I let you go, okay? Eddie, what did you want to say to Michelle here?
Michelle, what are you talking about? You've never been to the show. You're listening to it for the first time. You're just like all these other women that call in, yapping about how Tom is not right and everything like that. And everything he says is the truth. You all want to be your self-sufficient man, so why don't you take us out on a date and pay for one of us? Why does the man always have to pay for everything?
I think that's general out. Well, number one, you got your radio on.
That's a stereotype. Her husband has no job. She's paying for everything right now.
I mean, come on now. The last time...
Husband's between jobs, sweetheart. Number one,
that means he's out of work.
So he was laid off then.
What is he, a consultant now?
He quit one job. He's a programmer 2 weeks ago, and he starts on Monday.
Ah.
Okay.
So who paid for things, him or you?
We split it down the line, mister.
Right, but I mean, when you started dating, did he pay for everything for you?
No, he would pay for sometimes, and I pay for sometimes.
No,
it depends.
Who paid more?
You want me to be honest? I'm being honest. You don't like honesty. You guys just want generalities.
Oh, yeah, we hate honesty.
You want to hear it the way you think it.
You want to hear broads like you lie to us. Go ahead.
I want to find...
I've had other people pay for me, but normally he would pay. Sometimes I pay. We go Dutch. Well, it depends.
Well,
women always want to be treated like equals. Well, if they want to be treated like equals, then hey, you guys can start asking.
I'm not saying all women don't. I'm saying that I'm saying some women do and some women don't. Just don't make a generality of it. Don't make stereotypes. That's what you're doing.
And he's never made generalities. He's always said.
I don't know what he has or hasn't before. All I know is when I'm flipping through the radio stations and I hear this funk, I'm like, well, where's the facts to back it up? And he's saying...
If women are fat or unattractive, they will not find men who will take care of them.
Tom, I just want to tell you, man.
in an area like New York, where I believe you're saying you're from. Is that true, Tom?
I'm from Jersey myself, so I know exactly how New York is.
I did live here at one time, and thank God I'm gone.
Well, it takes 2 incomes now anyway, so it doesn't matter unless you're in that small percentage. Even in Manhattan, you're talking about a $600,000 house that's 50 years old, if you can afford it, and then you're paying $15,000 in taxes. So it doesn't matter how good you're looking anymore.
Well, that's why the hot chicks live in
Manhattan. If you got the money, then it don't matter.
To make it.
The homely bras live in Wyandanch. Huh?
I don't know. Well, I've had enough of this today, but thanks for the time to talk, and hopefully maybe you guys will figure this out with your...
All right, well, I just wanted to say the following here, dear. Thank you so much for calling. It was nice talking.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
You're so rageful.
I have never heard this word, by the way, rageful. But, all right, I'll assume your IQ is in the triple digits for the sake of argument.
You've never spoken to a psychotherapist.
You're a psychotherapist, or are you just a psycho?
The Tom Leykis Show.
New York City, it's the Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Just want to talk to people who are the parents of the girls who are chunking up or look like they're just not going to turn out to be 8s, 9s, or 10s. And maybe you can tell us the whole story. Kenny on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
What's up, brother?
Not much, Kenny.
Hey, man, I can't stand those chicks with that New York accent, man. They drive me nuts.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, man,
I had to leave New York because of that. I couldn't take it.
I couldn't handle that.
Yeah.
Hey, I got 2 little girls, man, and one of them's gonna grow up to be she's probably gonna be supermodel quality, you know, and the other one's putting on a little chunk, man, and I'm trying to get her to thin up a little bit, you know, putting her in soccer and all that, and trying to explain stuff to her without having to, you know, go through the whole thing and just explain it to her straight out.
So what have you told her?
Something came up. I bought her mom a car, and she said that when she got older, you know, her husband was going to buy her a Mercedes, and I said, you know, I don't know if that's going to happen, babe. You got to kind of lay off the candy and stuff, and just kind of dropping little hints like that, you know, kind of hoping it'll take hold, but it's not seeming to too much.
Oh boy. Wow. And what does your wife think about that?
You know, she doesn't seem to have too much of a problem with it at all, man. She just says it's her, and that's her body build. And
what does your wife look like?
She's hot, man. I mean,
your wife is hot.
Yeah, totally.
She's okay with your daughter being chunky?
She seems to think that she'll grow out of it, and I don't think you grow out of habits, because that's all it is. It's habit. It's you know, it's food. So obviously, it's our fault for letting her get chunky, you know. But I mean. She's already developed this habit, and I'm worried she's not gonna get away from it. She's gonna keep eating Twinkies too much her whole life, you know.
I understand.
It's frustrating and sad at the same time, man. I shouldn't. I don't want to have the fat kid, you know.
Well,
the fat girl, the fat boy.
Fat boy is another story. Because guys have to work anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But girls, you know, girls think they can opt out of college or they'll meet Prince Charming or something, but you're not going to meet Prince Charming if you're a fatty. It's not going to happen.
Oh, exactly.
You have to settle for less.
Do you think there's any harm in sitting her down and talking to her and telling her straight out?
Well, you know, there has been that scientific research I told you about that said that women who weigh more have lower household incomes than women who weigh less.
Yeah, well, she'll never have to worry about money because the situation we're in. But I still don't want a fat daughter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
It's depressing, man. It makes me feel bad. You know.
I understand. So, hang on a second, though, Kenny. Let me get Steve on here. Steve, what do you want to say to Kenny?
Hey, Tom, how you doing, brother?
I'm okay.
You know, I agree with everything you talk about. Number one fan for a long time.
Love that.
This bozo you got on the phone now, he's telling his child that she's going to be fat when she grows up? What are you doing to your kid's self-esteem, man?
Well, I'm trying to help it, man.
Why don't you just hit her in the head with a frickin' baseball bat and get it over with?
Keep talking, brother.
Yeah, I'll keep talking, bro.
I'm trying to help her out, man, because if she grows up through high school being fat, she's obviously going to get her self-esteem hurt a lot first.
Hey, dude, no, come on.
I mean, I know, come on, come up with something else, man.
That's your child. That's your child. If you can't do any better than that, we have people out there that can. Okay?
All right,
you're a freaking moron, and thank God there's not a lot of fathers out there like you.
Yeah, really. All right, ask Tom what he thinks there. I tend to think that Tom would probably agree with me over you.
I do believe that if your daughter is going to turn out to be a fatty, you really have to sit her down and tell her, look, hopefully you're planning on getting a doctorate
how old is she?
Or something.
How old is she?
She's 10.
Oh, dear Lord. Enough peer pressure in this world that kids have to deal with, and you're sitting down telling her, hey, if you don't change your ways, you're not going to get nothing when you grow up. You're going to be fat. That's not the way to handle it, bud.
Yeah, dude, it's the same thing as sitting down telling your boy if he's goofing off all the time, he's never going to make any money. It's the same exact thing.
I got 2 kids. I got a 16-year-old and an 18-year-old. Fantastic kids, good in high school.
Fantastic kids, good in high school. That means they're probably fat, right?
Not a bit, son. Not a bit. When it comes time to discipline your kids and guide them, there's ways to do it. And with you out there telling your baby girl that she's going to be fat and she's never going to have anything, you're a freaking moron. You're not even worth spitting on.
All right, man.
All right, I'm done talking to you. Thomas.
Have your opinion.
Take me out Kennedy style, baby.
Senior or junior, Steve?
Junior.
Junior, of course. Here you go.
The NFL season begins with a Thursday night special on ABC. Started off with the Rolling Stones, Green Day, Santana, Kanye West, and more. It's the NFL's biggest opening night ever as the 2-time defending Super Bowl champion New England Patriots take on the Oakland Raiders in the official start of the regular season. It's a night of hits. Thursday, September 8th at 8 p.m. Eastern on ABC. Brought to you by Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL and Super Bowl 40.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
Surprise!
The Tom Leykis Show.
You're listening to Tom Leykis on 100.7 The Buzz.
Radio for guys. Tom Leykis.
100.7 The Buzz. Radio for guys.
The Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM. Is our telephone number. Amanda on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello?
Yeah?
Yeah?
Well, when I was younger, I used to eat a lot of junk food, and I kind of got fat. But over the years, I've been kind of slimming down. But I've always heard that, like, you're attracted to the people you're like losers and ugly people are attracted to ugly people, you know? And ugly people seem to be attracted to me. So...
Really?
Yeah, like fat, ugly, nasty-looking, gross guy.
You mean hot guys won't go out with you?
No, none of them seem to like me. It's like, they're all like, oh my gosh. It's just like, I don't know.
Well, are you ugly or fat or both or what?
I think I'm fat.
Well, then why would hot guys go out with you if you're fat?
I don't know.
Hot guys can get anybody they want.
Well, I just wanted to know, like, do you think that's true? Like, ugly people attracted to ugly people?
Well, we always say on this show, it's an old saying, water seeks its own level. Do you know what that means?
Yeah. Okay, well, that's all I really wanted to know.
You want to get hotter guys, you got to be hotter.
Okay, so I should, like, just quit eating or...
Not quit eating, but eat sensibly and exercise and lose it slowly. And then keep it off. Stay in shape. Do you work out?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Well, I'm not, like, way fat. Just like chubby.
Chubby, dear. Again, you want to get hot guys. And later on in life, you want to get rich, successful guys. You can't be chubby.
And how come all these, like, seriously, they're like huge guys, like fat America, oh my God.
Well, because guys pay for everything, and so guys can be whatever they want to be. But women expect men to pay the mortgage, pay the cable TV bill, pay for clothing, pay for groceries. So if women expect that, they have to give men something in return. They have to look good.
Okay, that's good enough for me.
Now, if you choose, you can just go to college, study hard, go to graduate school, get great grades, become a doctor, a lawyer, an architect or something, make your own money.
So I'm not good at school.
Well, you better start getting a little better at it or losing some weight, one or the other.
Okay.
That's the choice you have, dear. Unbelievable. Our email address is my name. It's Tom at blowmeuptom.com. Tom at blowmeuptom.com. Remember, you can hear our show live every day of the week at fmtalki.com.
The Tom Leykis Show.